So once you've stripped off your nettle fibres and you've started to process them and they're dried, you can ever so slightly re-wet them, either using a bit of water or from your just from running the fibres across your mouth. And then to start it off, ever so slightly offset them so that you're not splicing back in at the same point, like that. Then twist away and toward until the nettle fibres want to kink, like that. And at that point, pinch them off in your index finger and thumb. And at this point, you've just got to decide whether you're going to twist away or toward. I always twist away, just because it's the way I've always remembered to do it. But each time you twist, you've got to find a way with your fingers of pinching off, because to make proper reverse twist cordage, you've got to keep the tension on in here. So I'm twisting, and then I'm pinching it off to keep the tension. And again, you do this to the point where the nettle fibres want to kink, like that. And then I can swap to the other side, but you've got to keep the tension on in there. And this one, I just push that against the fleshy part at the top of the finger and retwist to keep the tension on. And then when this one wants to kink, then you can put them together. When I let go of my index finger and thumb, very subtly, these guys want to twist a certain way, and all I do is help it on its way. And that's proper reverse twist cordage. And when I let go of that, it's not going to want to undo. So you could leave it like that because it's twisted into cordage properly. So to carry on, pinch off where it's become cordage, and then continue the process of twisting till it wants to kink, and on the other side. And you can get really quick at this, and then letting them go and twisting them up. And if you want thicker cordage that you could potentially use for bigger jobs like bow drill, then you just start the process with more fibres. So instead of having one fibre that you're twisting, you would do 3 or 4, or start thinking about different fibres altogether, like hemp agrimony, or some of the willow herbs, or the inner bark from trees, like the phloem of sweet chestnut or willow. And you can start to get quite a lot of cordage quite quickly. And then you just need to splice in. So splicing in is just adding another fibre along here and tapering the thickness so that it's even. So if this has gone thin, you put a thicker bit into here, and this one's fatter, so I'm going to start with a thinner bit in here. But I'm not going to taper these at the same place because there'll be a weakness in the rope. So I need to splice this side in now, and then further down here I'll splice the other one in. So for splicing in, what you want to do is have a finer bit of, or the longer bit of cordage, sorry, on one side, and your thin bit on the other. And I'm going to splice into this one. If I spliced in them both at the same time, there'd be a weakness in the cordage. So at this point, I'm going to lay that fibre on top of this thick one, and this one's slightly thinner so that it's relatively the same size. And I'm just going to start twisting them together. So all I've done is laid that straight on top of the fibre. The fibre's on the short side, and I'm twisting it in and holding that tension. And then I can continue with this side, which has gone thin now. So I'd add another bit of cordage into this side, which I can do from one of these Jack's just about to give me. So I've just split a fibre down, and I'm just going to add that in to this side to keep it even. So although there's a splice there at the same time, because the cordage potentially would have gone really thin, I've just added one in to keep it relatively even across the whole length of cordage, and now I can carry on as normal. And those splices want to be, a good couple of inches long, otherwise when you pull on the cordage there's a potential weak point. And there, that's gone quite thin as well, so I can add in another piece. And that is how you make cordage. And then afterwards what you can do is you can cut off these tabs to make it really neat, and then you can run a lighter along it to get rid of any loose fibres. And then if you really wanted to, you could use an oil or a beeswax once it's completely dry, just to give it longevity. Nettle cordage.